Oh shit, I'm muted, aren't I? Damn it. Fuck me. Fuck. God damn it. Shit, I just saw it. Well, hello everybody. I guess we're gonna start that muted. Fuck me. Fuck a duck with a dump truck. Well, it's still better than Russell. So. Also, all could have been prevented if Taylor Swift would have just slept with him. Yes, very true. Very true. Um, Zero Fucks asked me, what I do in Russia today? Well, first of all, lower your voice. If you guys aren't aware, a couple of guys from ISIS Khorasan group, ISIS K, basically reenacted No Russian in real life, and they went to a rock concert and started fucking killing everybody. And there's video of it, and they are just fucking doming people. I mean, somebody's like way up on a balcony and is watching these dudes walk in, and this guy's got a bunch of people in the corner, and like Christchurch style, he just and just starts fucking mowing them down. So, yeah. I did not have anything to do with it. Did have nothing to do with it. Unknown Hero says though, I'm gonna come. Well, don't come. Don't come. Oh. And Decaf says, my favorite is Kiwi Farms is the hardship. Yes. And I love that, Russell Greer is now labeling Kiwi Farms as a terrorist group and a terrorist network. You know, having been, having known people who the FBI probably does consider actual terrorists, and, having been photographed with them and known to be affiliates of those people, and I'm probably on the list because of what I've done in my past. I'm rather offended that he would consider this a terrorist group. It's like, you don't know terrorism until you've seen it, son. Just saying. Just saying. Oh. Having too much fun with that preview shot. I love doing thumbnails. Thumbnails are so much fun. If you guys know, I do my own. So that's why sometimes I'm late to getting on, because I'm trying to make it and I get a little spurgy with it and trying to make neat things. Sometimes I do really cool ones. But I'm getting better at it. Yeah. Yes, muted. I understand. I'm so muted. My lip reading is improving, though. Well, there you go. Do I do this on purpose? You'll never know. You're saying somebody made me a checklist. Here's the thing. When I started the countdown, I actually had to put it on mute because it didn't go to mute right away. Because normally when you do these clips, it mutes you. And it wasn't muted, so I had to shut it off. So, yeah. Yeah, so let's start to go for the second. The monitor thing wouldn't work, because I wouldn't be paying attention, because I'm having to, like, I'm reading the quotes as they go. Like, I'm reading the chat. Yes, I'm not muted. Turn your volume up. Duh. I don't hear it says Boomer. Axe says I muted Boomer. You didn't even spell that right. And you're going to sit here and come at me. You couldn't even spell it right. And I know you passed some levels of education. Shree says, you're muted, Boomer. Thank you. Still muted. Yeah. Yes, another chat. 2 scoops of Destroyer, 17 months. It's fucking crazy. 17 months. Thank you for the support. Yes, another milestone chat from Muted Sean. Yes. That was like 5 minutes. That might be a record. No. Spirit Flex. I'm not high anymore. Damn it, Sean. Yes, it's not the K-pop version of ISIS. No, the Khorasan group. They operate mainly out of kind of Afghanistan and that region. They've been doing some attacks in Iraq, Pakistan. They were the guys who did the attack on killed all the Marines at the gate at Kabul International Airport. They also have been fucking around like in the Baluchistan regions of Iran, which if you guys didn't realize, Iran does border Afghanistan to the south and the southeast. And they did a terrorist attack there a while back, and they killed like 100 some odd people. When the Baluchistanis aren't doing it themselves, doing the terrorist attacks. So, Um, Hubbleson says that's metal. I know. It's pretty metal. I'd show it here, but I'm sure YouTube will shit a brick. Brimso says wrong country. They should have gone to Kiev. Well, there are supposedly rumors that Polish and French troops have landed in Cherkasy, south of Kiev, by rail and by airlift. So we'll find out if Putin's got the fucking balls he says he does. If true. Oh, POV says, the Batak, yes. Regular ISIS did it better before it was cool. Yes. Yes. Anything goes says ISIS is working with Ukraine. Well, no, the Islamic terrorists have their own problems with Russia and have had their own problems with Russia. Would you do him the honors of touring Geneva on the Lake's vineyards with you? When you drive by them, it's like some guy who has like 15 grape plants, like nailed to a 2x4. That's pretty much all the grapes that's the wine country in Northeast Ohio. It's not very impressive. So, anyone who believes that it was ISIS is retarded. I don't know who it was. There was something fishy. Some guys following behind them, picking up their magazines as they go. So that was really weird. All right, guys, that's enough time. We're ready to go here. You entered the muted grift too early. Keep juicing. Yeah, see that, but that's the integrity thing. I can't. No, oh God, not Belushi. Part of me wonders at times. It's hard to tell on the internet if you're being serious or not. No, not Belushi. Not like the land of the Belushis. It's not. There's not an ISIS group running around killing Iranian citizens that are descendants of the Belushi brothers. No. Oh my God, that's so fucking funny though. That's like something somebody would say where I grew up. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh. Oh. So no, what I'm trying to bring up is, I guess we'll do one actually real thing real quick. This is what talking about Baluchistan, the Balak people, the Baluch people. It's this pink area. They're in Afghanistan, Iran, and Barack Obama say Pakistan. But ISIS-K runs around in this whole area right now. So, yeah, this is... Okay, and I know it says Soviet Union up there, but these borders haven't changed. So, that's what I'm talking about. So, there's an entire... That's the region we're talking about here. Shots. Okay? So, no, it's not the land where the Belushis came from. So, all right, guys. Belushi stan. Oh my God, yes. I'm a Belushi stan. Monica, fuck, God. No, bad chat, bad chat. The Ashkenazis. Oh my God. Holy shit. All right, let's get on to this, guys. All right, enough people. People are going to start going away if I start talking about the whole holes getting dusted. All right, Russell Greer versus Joshua Moon, Kiwi Farms. Let's see where we have to we have to go back a little bit of a ways. And where do we start? Well, we are going to start kind of at the end of where we were last week. Or last time we were here. Back in January, Null in the gang, because it's et al., even though it's really just Null, and it should be Lolcow LLC, technically, as the owner of the farms, not, no, as Kiwi Farms itself is not an entity that can be sued. It's merely just a website, but Russell Greer still hasn't figured that out yet. I wonder if he drools so much that, like, he gets dehydrated and he can't think. I wonder if that's his problem. Like, there's no fluid in his brain because he drools so much. Anyway, Null filed a motion to transfer to the Northern District of Florida. And they brought up reasons why. They brought up memorandum support. Why? None of the parties present in this lawsuit are a resident of Utah. None of the action took place in Utah. Russell Greer is a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada, and Josh Null is a domiciles when he's in the United States, because right now he's in parts unknown, sneaking his way through COVID. I think that's what he said he had, or he got Jim's cancer AIDS, I'm not sure. And the Northern District of Florida. It isn't fitting. Null is a Florida man, a son of the South. And Lolcow LLC, doing business as Kiwi Farms, is an LLC organized under the laws of the state of West Virginia. But Mr. Moon is its sole member. Meaning, at that point, Lolcow LLC is Josh, and Josh is at Lolcow LLC. So at that point, it should no longer be tried in Utah. And I'm sure the judge is like, I don't want to fucking deal with this anymore. Even back then. So it's for the convenience of the parties, the interest of justice, and cases can be transferred even in the middle of what's going on. And, a lot's happened. I mean, we really haven't gotten far in the progression of the case, in the life cycle of a court case. A lot has happened so far, but we can move on from there. So the motion to transfer is analyzed under a forum non-convenience standard. Determine whether transfer is proper. And that determines, is this the proper forum? And the situation here is it's probably not the proper forum. So the plaintiff says, Russell Greer says Null lives in Florida. Greer says that Null manages Kiwi Farms, okay? Greer said that he was a citizen of Nevada. Not Nevada or Nevada. Nevada. The allegations in the complaint appear to relate to actions taken on the internet and targeted at no particular geographic location. There are no witnesses in Utah, nor any events in Utah for which witnesses might be identifiable. Shitlips makes 3 allegations as a basis for suing Utah. None of them withstand scrutiny, especially at this stage of the proceedings, with Russell himself having abandoned all of his ties to Utah, saying, well, I have family there, and that's where I went to school. Those are not ties. Those are not the ties you're looking for. You're trying to establish contacts to that jurisdiction. So, they do point out that Greer did file this under the Copyright Act, except the Copyright Act contains venue provisions which differ from those applicable in ordinary civil cases. And civil actions arising under any act of Congress relating to copyrights may be instituted in the district in which the defendant or his or agent resides or may be found. So that's the neat thing, because I myself have been threatened from a couple of dickhead sovereign citizens threatening to sue me for copyright. You know what the cool thing is? You got to come to me. That's right. You have to come to me. So you got to come to the Northern District of Ohio. Fine, fuck it, I dare you. And in this situation, this should have gone to, Florida. Now, venue wasn't waived, and Russell's going to bring that argument up, but this has been filed. In this case, Null may be found in Florida. He is not found in Utah. And Russell's made no allegations to lead that he could ever be found in Utah. Greer appears to admit that he couldn't find Null in Utah because he filed motions for alternative service. And if you couldn't serve the guy, well, yeah, then you got to come up with a different plan. Similarly, Kiwi Farms is a website under the West Virginia LLC, with Josh as a sole member. Therefore, nothing could be found in Utah of the other parties, the other things listed. Russell claims there's complete diversity jurisdiction, but it's predicated on an unsound premise. There are no state law claims that remain viable in this action. All the purported harassment and other torts, the stalking and the terrorism, were dismissed by the court, and Russell didn't raise them on appeal. And what you don't bring up on appeal is gone. Russell only brought the contributory copyright infringement. All the other things he fucking cried about, they are gone. They are barred. Res judicata actually prevents them from being alleged again. He has waived his right to make those claims. So there is no issue about the diversity jurisdiction anymore because there's no state law being applied. The Erie Doctrine doesn't come into effect anymore. This is federal law only. And if you're arguing a case under federal law, you can be from the same state. So for a copyright case, you could both be from Utah. You could all be from Utah. You could be from 5 different states, including Utah. That doesn't matter because the court has jurisdiction for federal copyright lawsuit claims because the copyrights are federal law. So there is no more issues about diversity. And third, in Russell's complaint, he says venue's proper where the defendant resides. Well, Null doesn't reside in Utah. So, once again, Null could be found in Florida as a resident. Technically, he's like a resident of Florida, but he isn't domiciled there. He's domiciled in, I don't know, Shitdikistan or somewhere out there in Europe. Somewhere in Europe, I don't know, where they eat cheese all the time. Apparently not France, but he's dining on the finest of European cheese and bread. But there's no reason for suing him in Utah. Nobody's doing business in Utah. None of the parties do business here. There's no reason it happens to be here. And the Copyright Act favors adjudication in the district of the defendant's residence, not in a location of the plaintiff's choosing. So, this was filed January 17th, 2024, guys. All right? This is when it was filed. Well, to go on from here, we also have, and this is what why do I keep calling him Moon? I'm too used to calling people that. This is what Null says. Now, he points out that I'm an adult competent to testify in matters. That I'm a domiciliary of the state of Florida, although I think it's more appropriate to say you're a resident. Well, you're not domiciled there, but you are a legal resident of the state of Florida when I'm in the United States. Although I left Florida and went to Europe several years ago. That's right, chat. Null abandoned us. Null abandoned America. I maintain my domicile in Florida. I'm a registered to vote in Florida and have a Florida driver's license. I've never taken up permanent residence in any other state. My domicile is located in Escambia County, which is in the jurisdiction for the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida. I think that's up in the Panhandle. Where the fuck is Escambia? Yeah, Escambia, or is it Escambia County? Oh, holy shit, that's Pensacola. God damn, Null, you were like in the ass crack of Florida, man. You were way up there. He's like near the Alabama part. The fine heritage of Sneeding up there. Down there, I should say. I'm the sole member of Lolcal LLC doing business at Kiwi Farms. And it's for the state of West Virginia. I say nothing. I'll be like, I have one more thing to say. Sneed. Suffa, Greer. And now this is filed on the 17th also. We need to move on, though, because we're just breezing through these quick, guys. We already covered these. That's why I'm going kind of quick through them. So Russell Greer asked for an extension of time. And this is when he cried because all the motions got served on him. And he said, there's too many of them. I can't do it all. The defendant's motion for joinder. The defendant's motion for a more definitive statement. The motion to change venue. The motion to strike complaint. The motion to correct the complaint / motion to intervene / motion to substitute. It's where he said, I've been bombarded by motions. It's like a puncher. It's a boxer. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just helpless. So they did oppose his filing a reply to any answer. So the court denied filing a reply to any answer, but the deadlines extended were to be as follows. Well, the court said, okay, fine, here's some deadlines. In the meantime, for all the stuff you do want, we will let you do, here's what's going to happen. So the motions for joinder, motion for a more definitive statement, and motion to change venue, motion to strike complaint are due by February 29th, 2024. The motion to correct the complaint and motion to intervene / substitute by March 1st. Greer has established no reason why the court should order the filing of a reply to the defendant's answer. Therefore, it's denied. Cool. This was done on January 22nd. All right, so we've got some timelines, chat. We've got some timelines. If you look at it, there we go. You know, he's been warned. You've got time. You better get it done. So what did Russell Greer do in the meantime? Well, we get to February 7th. And like I said, guys, we are just breezing through this because there's no need for us to mess around too much here, okay? Oh, hold on, guys. I need to look for one thing here. Hold on, guys. I messed up. All right. Sorry. Messed up the order here. Cheesistan. Yes, he's in Cheesistan. Yes. So, anyways, we're going to keep going here, guys. Sorry, I was trying to... Ricardo and Vito are supporting Russell Greer. Oh, my God. My thoughts on Dick Masterson, Vito, and Nick defending Russell Greer. I mean, it ain't happening, but the amount, like, they're literally wasting their fucking money. Although, you know, par for the course, I guess. You know, what's new. But if that really was true, I mean, part of me hopes it's true just because the amount of fucking malding and sneeding and fucking coping that'll come out of that, oh my God, it will be fucking amazing. Like, that would be so cool. I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, like, as much as I want it to happen, as much as I think that'd be awesome to see that true. I mean, if that were to happen, the fucking litigation fund will probably grow to like... Null will probably make $1 million fucking on the litigation fund at that point. Because there's so many people that hate Dick Masterson and Vito at this point. And a lot of people don't like Nick. That they would just... Null would be a wash... Hardin would be a wash in cash. And he'd be getting... Null would be like, Null would be like, sue everyone. Oh... I mean, are you... Yes, there's a reason Null raised as much as he did. So. It would just be funny because they're literally just going to lose money here. But let's keep going. So on February 7th, Null filed this motion that he needed help from his attorneys because he's not a big boy. He can't do it himself. There's just too much to do. And he asked for a stay for 90 days. Why? Because he used the big pun defense and argued that it's so hard. Also, it really pisses me off. Fucking indent that shit, homie. Indent that shit. That's fucking Bush League here, Russell. Indent, homie. I also don't know why, I don't know why we had a fucking caption this big, but I also didn't realize this, it doesn't have to be that fucking big, Holmes. But, so, yes, the thing about him, the horror of it all. So he's trying to rehire his appellate counsel. And I'm sure those guys said, you owe us a shitload of money, and if you want us to represent you at trial, it's probably going to cost you 30 or 40 G's minimum. I guarantee you it's something like that. He doesn't have the money, so he's stalling and fucking around. And he requested a 90-day stay. An emergency 90-day stay. So he could get a hold of them. And he makes up a bunch of bullshit and whining and crying about what's going on. As he said, important pending motions that could determine the outcome of this case. Every motion is important and can determine the outcome of your case. Every motion's fucking important there, honey. This case has major implications for me. I'm gonna burn the money. They can sew my lips up. They can put a drain in my neck and the drawer just falls out. So, there's no hardship faced by the defendants. I mean, depends on... Having to deal with you is a fucking hardship, Russell. I can only imagine. So, he asked for deadlines. He asked for a stay of all deadlines for 90 days. He asked the case resume May 6th. Well, we moved on, and... obviously, Null and Hardin said, no, we don't like that. And Russell, once again, said, but I need the time. It's so hard. That he made a good faith effort for 90 days to retain these guys. But they're dirty Jews and they want too much money, and I don't have that. I don't have Jew money, Russell said as he complained on his keyboard. I can't afford Jew attorneys. I can only afford Gentiles, and that's not good enough for Null. Because Kiwi Farms is the hardship. It's the hardship, Chad. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's big pun. It's the big pun defense. It's so hard. It's so hard. And like I said, these niggas want to be like pun, but they, and they go busting out. Because it's so hard. So, oh, he raised $150,000 that I don't have. More crying and whining. And notice it's been now almost 3 weeks since he was told to respond. And he's got 20 more days, roughly, to finish his filings for the motion to change venue. Clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. In the meantime, we had issues with Russell Greer not responding to the scheduling order because he's the plaintiff. It's his job to prosecute the case and comply with the scheduling order issued January 4th for them to sit down and talk and figure things out as part of the Rule 26 conference. Well, that didn't happen, and it's still dragging on. And as we get to the deadline, chat, we're going to go to this real quick. Did I close out Pacer? Son of a bitch, I did. Oh, well, we'll use Court Listener instead. So this is the case. Greer versus Moon in Utah. Well, let's go to the timeline that we need. We need February 29th, 2024. Well, chat, was it filed? We have February 22nd and March 6th. Those are the two relevant things. Whoops-a-doodle. Looks like nothing was filed. Looks like nothing was filed because if you go back, this was filed February 22nd, document 92. Okay, so look, document 92 filed February 22nd. Document 92 filed February 22nd. Russell, my boy, you're like, there's nothing here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Russell. Russell. Ooh, that's not good, buddy. Yeah. Chat. Yes, chat. Chat, this ain't good. Uh-oh. Russ! Hold on, maybe I can interpret more. Well, you meant on the date. You know you missed his name. You missed his name. Say, it's almost like stroke talking. It's not really like face paralysis talking. You missed something, Russell. Looks like, because notice, I don't, here, and we'll look in this time area here. Venue. When was something talking about venue being filed? Not in this time frame here. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Well, let's keep moving, though, because in another step, and I can't wait the chance I talk to Null. I hope he's feeling better, by the way. We're going all the fucking way, chat. He's going all the way, folks. All the fucking way. All the way to the top. He is climbing the mountain. He's climbing up Mount Olympus. And he dares to see the gods. He dares to see the gods. And seek judgment from them. Those nine black-robed Adonises with Athenian knowledge. He dares to go up there. You could almost say we're eagles dare. That's right. A writ of certiorari was filed. Now we wait. And Shitlips has to comply with the Supreme Court filings. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fucking hilarious. So, who would have thought it'll be great when the farms get to the Supreme Court. I hope they get cert. They're not going to get cert. They're not. You're better off buying a lottery ticket, guys. But it would be really fucking funny. It would be so fucking funny if they got cert. I would go to that oral argument. Listen to Uncle Clarence just fucking... He'll read the briefs, and he'll just be sneating that he's like, I want to fucking dismantle the government. I gotta listen to this retarded shit. Listen to Russell Greer try to get all drooly and hot over Sotomayor. I mean, that's who we'll go after. Or maybe Justice Kagan. I have a feeling he likes the fact she looks like a Kevin James impersonator. He'll be like, Justice Kagan, hello, cutie. He turned around and showed me that booty. Is there a nice juicy hoodie, Justice? Kagan. I love redheads. I'm sure that's... God, it's going to be so fucking nasty listening to him. But just so you know, it was filed. Notice what I haven't shown you in here. Response to the motion to change venue. Michael Boyle says, can you go pro se at the Supreme Court? I mean, they are going to really try to make sure that doesn't happen, but I mean, they're... Technically, you kind of could. I mean, it's not... Like Clarence Gideon from Gideon v. Wainwright went pro se at the Supreme Court, wrote his own fucking motion to cert on like fucking notebook paper in a jail cell and got people the indigent right to indigent defense for misdemeanors and through the 14th Amendment. So, I mean, yes, it's possible, but really they're going to do everything they can to avoid it. And once you get to the Supreme Court, like if cert got granted, there will be an army of lawyers coming to Greer asking, and like the recording industry, all different kinds of industry groups will be coming to Russell asking to let their people take over. Now, on Null's side, and I agree, Null's he's doing the G move. You know, it's an OG call. Let Harden take this bitch all the way. He's fucking earned it. You know? So, yeah, these lawyers will be crawling up his ass telling him you're so smart, Russell. They'll probably bring over hookers who look like... They'll go get a hooker to get her plastic surgery done to look like Taylor Swift so he can fuck her. Because why? Because getting into arguing in front of the Supreme Court, I mean, for those guys, that's their thing. That's like going to the Super Bowl, guys. And for some of them, it's their thing. And on top of that, the recording industry, if they could fucking kill fair use, like the media industry... You know, like movies, everybody, they could put a severe blow on fair use and crush it. They would all fucking jump at that chance. So yes, this would be a big deal. Yes, the idea of Taylor Swift's recording studio representing Greer is funny. Yes. Kat says, what is the case over? Well, Russell filed a bunch of things. He filed stuff in state law arguing like, oh, there was some, they were torturing him and harassing him. All that stuff's gone now. What's left is contributory copyright negligence or copyright infringement. Basically, there is a link on the website to a Google Drive full of the songs Russell Greer copyrighted. So it's not even being hosted on the farms. Somebody's just left a link saying, hey, you can go here and find them. And the argument is that Null should take that down and at very least keep people from going there with such ease, and that he's contributing to the copyright infringement. So, it's a fucking goofy and retarded theory that shouldn't have gotten anywhere, but it did. So, and I thought you said when they could kill fair use, they were going to say kill people. Well, they do that too. So, this is, well, no, Orgus, this is actually a hair-lip retard trying to ruin the internet because he couldn't have sex with hookers or Taylor Swift. That's this man's issue. That's where this all comes from. That hookers won't have sex with him, and that Taylor Swift won't play with his cock. That's the problem here. That's his war. So, that's his war. So, we're going to keep going, though, because we have to catch up. We have to catch up, chat. There's so much more here. Okay. So, notice... We have plaintiff's response to defendant's notice. He filed something finally on March 11th. Okay, and it's the plaintiff's response to defendant's notice, document 94. Well, what was document 94? Well, it's not this, but what is Document 94? Document 94 is a notice of return to mail. Basically, Null and Hardin are saying we can't fucking get a hold of him because he's a fucking retard. Also, what is this, like, 2-space indent? You're not even, like, Russell, dude, they aren't even in a straight line. Fuck's sake. So the issue is Russell is retarded and can't put his right address down. Now, either that's retarded or that's a stall tactic by him, probably a little bit of A and a little bit of B. But the defendants are complaining about return mail and accuse the plaintiff of fabricating a mailing address. On January 19th, Russell updated his address to the court because he was no longer using the P.O. box. Instead, plaintiffs attest he was using the following address: 1155 South 20th Avenue, Suite 108420, 420. Plaintiff reaffirms this is indeed his correct address for mailing. In fact, he has attached Exhibit A as a payment for the reminder of his address. So he does file that, but we're not going to look at it because it doesn't matter. So he filed this motion, though. When Null and Hardin said we can't mail him anything, he shows up on the 11th and files a motion. Guess what he still hasn't filed yet, guys? None of this talks about venue or any of the other shit. And we're down here yet, and look. Response to 94. The 14th, the memorandum decision, okay. A notice of return mail by Kiwi Farms. Look what we still don't see here, Russell. What don't we see? Anything about venue. Nothing about venue, Russell. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Oh. Holy shit. I mean, it's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb. It makes you want to fucking scream, chat. Just makes you want to scream. Because he's so fucking stupid. And at the end of the day, he's just fucking with everybody. So Russell filed that. And, well, we have an order that comes out March 14th. And what does this say? Now we're caught up to the present. And I should say we're caught up to where we were before. Because now we're to the good stuff. So there's a memorandum and order decision. So that means it came from the court when you see that. Because nobody else can put out orders. So before this is Russell Greer's motion for the stay for 90 days. So the court concludes that oral argument is not necessary and therefore decides the motion on its written memoranda, which is normal for courts to do. Based on the analysis, the court denies his motion to stay. No, Russell, they denied it. Russell, they denied it. Oh, Russell. Eric says, why do you want the trial in Utah anyway? Well, way back then, there were some issues. So, Parallax, I am showing what's being read. You guys got to catch up. I'm ahead of you guys. So, this is where we are. So, it's the memorandum in order. And it got denied. Null operates Kiwi Farms, an online forum where users exploit and showcase those to be deemed eccentric and weird. Some Kiwi Farms users go beyond discussing people and purportedly stalk and harass their subjects. Remember, the court is still taking everything in his complaint as true. Greer became the target of users' acrimony after he filed a lawsuit against pop star Taylor Swift. In response to harassment by the users, Greer self-published a book about the lawsuit, hoping to tell his side of the story. After his book received numerous negative online reviews, Greer recorded a song and placed it for sale online. Greer's book and song were placed on the farms without his consent. That's not true. But they're reading the complaint as true. The allegations are true. That part's definitely not true. I mean, he recorded a song and placed it online. He did. Causing Greer to become a target of even more derision. Greer sent it asking for a takedown under the DMCA. Null refused, claiming copyright protection, fair use, and mocking Greer's notice. Since then, more of Greer's songs have been uploaded without his consent. As a result, Greer filed the present action seeking monetary and injunctive relief for alleged copyright violations. And then the harassment and various speech torts. And these last two things were under state law, and they got dismissed with the initial counts and then were never brought up on appeal. So in granting the defendant's motion to dismiss, this court concluded Mr. Greer failed to state a claim upon which relief could be granted and denied as moot his request for an injunction. Mr. Greer moved to alter the judgment and reopen the case pursuant to Federal Rules 59E. Court denied those motions and he appealed to the 10th Circuit. The Digital Justice Foundation, representing Greer on appeal, the 10th Circuit held there's a plausible claim of contributory copyright infringement and remanded this court. On remand, Greer is no longer represented by DJF and is proceeding pro se. On January 17th, defendant filed 4 motions. The motion for joinder, for a more definitive statement, a motion to change venue, and a motion to strike. The following day, they also filed a motion to intervene/substitute. And that's to get Lolcow LLC included and Null off of it. After the court granted Greer an extension of time to file the response to these motions, Greer filed the instant motion to stay. And instant means the thing we're talking about right now. Because obviously he filed it the day after, and that's not instant for today, but instant is the term of, like, you talk about the instant case or the case at hand. And a lot of lawyers are like, you can't say it, it's so cringe. I'm like, I don't know how else to describe it. You'd say the above caption matter, but that doesn't help because that doesn't refer to which motions. Half the time. So Greer requests the 90-day stay where he seeks to retain DJF as counsel. Well, let's get to it. Greer's motion fails because he has not demonstrated a stay is appropriate. The court has discretion as to whether it will stay the current action. The power to stay proceedings is incidental to the power inherent in every court to control the cases on its docket with the economy of time and effort for itself, for counsel, and for the litigants. And determining whether to grant a motion to stay, the court usually weighs the following factors: whether granting a stay would likely simplify the issues before the court, the stage of litigation, and a balancing of prejudice to the parties. Greer failed to address these factors in his denial, and requires denial. And that's a big thing. If you don't give the court the reasons, they're definitely going to deny it. Now, let's say he filled these all out and hit all 3 points. The court could still say denied, but if you don't meet the requirements that you have to show, you're always going to lose, and it's not even a question. However, even in liberally construing Greer's motion, because remember, he is pro se, he appears to address the prejudice factor. Even so, the court is unpersuaded by Greer's arguments. He states he has been bombarded with motions, and this represents a clear case of hardship or inequity if he's required to move forward without counsel. And he asserts a 90-day stay after 2 years of waiting will not prejudice the defendants. In response, the defendants contend Greer has had opportunities to retain counsel, and further, he's not complied with the court's order to propose a schedule. Therefore, this motion to stay is another means to delay response to the defendant's motions. The pro se status does not warrant a stay of this action. Although the court understands Shitlip's desire to be represented by counsel, the case must proceed to secure the just, speedy, and inexpensive determination of this action. Because for Null, the meter's running. Hardin might be a good boy and a cool dude and cutting a deal, but it's still costing money. The standards governing pro se litigants allow Greer to proceed in this matter, and his pleadings are to be construed liberally and held less stringent standard than formal pleadings drafted by lawyers. However, it's not the court's role to assume the role of advocate for him. And further, pro se litigants are subject to the same rules of procedure that govern other litigants. And the rules of procedure have to be followed. Now, you might get a little leeway inside those rules, but those rules have to be followed. And the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure exist. There's entire books on them. There are law school classes on the rules of civil procedure and how to comply with it. Because if you can't comply with the rules, you're toast. And this court has already granted Greer a large extension of time to respond to the defendant's motions. Yep. He had until the end of the month of February. And we're almost St. Patrick's Day. Basically, this is last week. You guys, for those of you keeping track with calendars. Greer must participate in this case. He has to. This is his case. You have to participate. You have to prosecute your case. If you don't want to prosecute it, you don't want to participate, then go the fuck home. So the court denies the motion to stay. And this is signed by the magistrate judge, and it goes, boom, I'm done. Okay. Well, but bartered with motions, he needs a trope of chimps throwing poop on the album cover. Yes. So much hardship. All it is hardship. It's the suffering. He's a modern day Kazuhira Miller. Why are we here? Is it just to suffer? Yes. Yes, it is. Suffer, Greer. Suffer. Al Fox says, yeah, there's like 2 classes on procedure. Well, yeah, if you count crim pro, civil procedure, and appellate advocacy, yes. But literally, civil procedure, guys, for those of you who haven't been to law school, it's a class on the rules of civil procedure. How you actually do the case. You don't learn to file a motion for joinder, but you understand the rules of civil procedure to when to file the motion for joinder, or when to file the motion for summary judgment, or when to file a JNOV, or when to file other things, a more definitive statement. All those things, or how to comply with Rule 26. That's the stuff you learn. So, yes, suffer, Russell. Yes. 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 Suffer. Unknown Hero for $2 says, I always knew Jim Belushi was a Terry. And then Ag Biochemist says, Alec Baldwin fired the first shot of the Russo-Ukrainian war. Holy shit. I forgot this earlier. Bifrons got the first. With some Clyde's heads. Always a good choice. Unique one. I like it. So, that's where we are. And let's go back to, because this was here on the 14th, right, guys? March 14th. March 14th. Okay, that's where we are. All right, let's go to the calendar here. Share this tab. March 14th. Uh-oh. Russell Bros. Russell. What's going on here, man? I still don't see this motion for, well, you haven't filed any motions. Like, you haven't filed anything, man. What's the deal? What's the dealio? Come on. You're supposed to file it the 29th, and the 29th is, like, right here. You still haven't done it. What's the deal, man? Well. We're going to move on. Because chat, yes, much like his lips and most of his face, motionless. Motionless in the face. Motionless. Motionless. Like a sober man's hand. Motionless. Filed on the 20th. March 20th of the year of our Lord, 2024. In fact, that would have been Wednesday. Another memorandum, decision, and order. And once again, this comes from the court. Still no response from Russell Greer yet. So the judge referred this case to his magistrate judge. Before this court is the defendant's motion to transfer. Pro se plaintiff Russell Greer did not file a response, and the time for doing so has passed. Remember, chat, the motion to change venue was due. He shall file a response to the defendant's motion. Well, here, hold on. Mr. Greer shall file responses to defendant's motion to change venue by February 29th, 2024. Bit of a problem here, Russell. Russell, there's a bit of a problem, man. Bit of a problem here. It's not that he's overdue. You can be late, but literally fucking nothing. No response at all to the court. Radio silence. And for those of you who ever decide to go pro se, radio silence to a court is deadly. It's great if you're running, if you're a submarine, you got to be radio silent. I get it. Or you're doing it's like back in Nam when you're doing recon. You're running a SOG team up around the North Vietnamese border. I get it. You got to be quiet. But in court, you can't do that. Oh boy. Uh-oh, Russell. Oh, the time for doing so has passed. Well, under the District of Utah, so DU is the District of Utah, its own rules, its own civil rules, because courts have their own local rules. 7-1, subsection F, a party's failure to respond timely to a motion may result in the court granting the motion without further notice. Yes, just like a default to a lawsuit. If you don't respond, it's a default. This is basically a default. If you won't respond, we'll make it up and grant the other party's motion. Based upon the lack of response and the analysis set forth below, the court grants defendant's motion to transfer. Due to the transfer of this case, the court denies as moot defendant's motion to compel Greer's compliance with the order to propose a schedule in this matter. And that makes sense, because the court's saying, look, since Shitlips didn't respond, we're going to grant your order null. Happy trails in Florida. But since you're going to Florida, we're not going to deal with the fact he wouldn't comply with the scheduling orders. Which, that's fair enough. It's now the Northern District of Florida's fucking problem. And I think probably their Western Division. It's Pensacola's problem. I'm sure Pensacola is going to be fucking thrilled. And when that judge who's dealing with this case ends up seeing the judge, when the magistrates in Utah end up meeting the magistrate and judge in Florida at whatever conference they go to, I'm sure they're going to fucking, you son of a bitch, to each other. So, Actually, who's texting me? Oh, okay. So, Null operates Kiwi Farms. Okay, yeah. Stalking, blah, 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 blah. We already got through all this part because we talked about it already. We already talked about this part about granting the motion to dismiss. It's literally a copy and paste of the previous motion. If you guys notice, there's literally a copy and paste of some of these facts. I mean, look at it. This is a copy and paste of what we were just looking at. It's very much the same thing. And you know what? The court's going to copy and paste like the best of them. So, why wouldn't they? It only makes sense. So, all this, I'm not reading because it's literally a copy and paste. So, and they talk about shortly after the remand to this court, Null filed the motion to change venue. It's the only thing we're going to read. It's the only thing I need to discuss. So under 28 U.S.C. 1404, for the convenience of parties or witnesses in the interest of justice, court may transfer any civil action to any other district or division where it might have been brought. So it's a codification of the doctrine of forum nonconvenience for the subset of cases in which the transferee forum is within the federal court system to a more convenient forum, even though venue is proper in the transferor court. And that's true. You can have more than one appropriate venue. And as I'm sure you guys all remember in school, and they'd say multiple choice, sometimes there's a answer that's more right than the others. Well, sometimes there's a venue that's a little bit better or just a little bit more proper. In this case, it's a bit more proper. Utah wasn't unacceptable. It's just there's a better place to do it. Just somewhere where the fucking Utah judges don't have to be. So to satisfy a 1404 motion, the moving party must clearly establish that the transferee court is a proper forum, which it could have originally been brought. And under copyright law, yes. Because remember, that's all we have left is copyright. Because all Russell's state law claims under Utah law are gone. The transfer will enhance the convenience of the parties and witnesses and is in the interest of justice. Well, yeah, that's where Null's his domicile is. Null's a resident of Florida. It only makes sense to do it there. To meet the first requirement, the transferring court must have subject matter jurisdiction, which you guys, just Darrell Brooks brings it up, but yes, it is an issue, and personal jurisdiction over the parties. And venue must be proper. Well, there's always subject matter jurisdiction. It's copyright law, so the federal government has the exclusive domain to try that case. And personal jurisdiction. Well, Null's a resident of Florida, so yeah, it's proper. Regarding the second requirement, it is intended to place discretion in the district court to adjudicate motions for transfer according to an individualized case-by-case basis, considering fairness. And considering where the movement has met his burden, the court should consider the plaintiff's choice of forum, the accessibility of witnesses, sources of proof, the availability of compulsory process to ensure the attendance of witnesses, the cost of making necessary proof, questions as to the enforceability of a judgment if one is obtained, relative advantages and obstacles to a fair trial, difficulties that may arise from congested dockets, the possibility of existence of questions arising in the area of conflict of laws. Well, we don't have to worry about that. It's federal law, so there's no issue there. That's the only law in play. Now, you could argue, for example, you guys have been following what Legal Mindset's been doing, like with the Ninja Sanji stuff. There's going to be issues about the proper area of law, the proper venue of law. What type of law are we following? Are we following, with some of these people, like one of them's a Canadian, like is it Canadian law or Japanese law? Or is there some other law that gets involved? Is there arbitration? Is there international? What's the proper law? It's called a conflict of laws. There are entire law school classes and entire groups of attorneys that make their living on discussing and figuring out what's the proper law. Like you'll bring him on and he'll make the arguments for you how to get your law to be the one the court applies. Like it's an entire field of law making sure you're applying the right law. Sounds a little fucking weird, but it really is a thing. I promise you. I promise you it is. those guys are fucking weird, too. The professors are, at least. The advantage of having a local court determine questions of local law, which this isn't local law, but the other parts up top make more sense, and all other considerations of a practical nature that make a trial easy, expeditious, and economical. Okay. So, the court grants the defendant's motion for two principal reasons. First, despite defendant's inability to demonstrate the transfer will enhance the convenience of the parties and witnesses in this matter, the Northern District of Florida is a proper forum in this action could have originally been brought. Second, the court affords little weight to Mr. Greer's choice of the District of Utah because he's not a resident of Utah, and Utah lacks any significant connection with the operative facts of this case. Also related is Greer's failure to oppose defendant's motion to transfer. So, good job, Russell. You did it. Both reasons for granting the motion are discussed below. Could it have been brought in Florida? Yes, because under the Copyright Act, the Northern District of Florida should have original jurisdiction of any civil action arising under any act of Congress relating to copyrights. Okay. Well, and this arises out of the defendant's alleged copyright infringement. Therefore, subject matter jurisdiction is proper in Florida, or La Floride, as you might call it. As a personal jurisdiction, the defendants have established through Null's affidavit that he's domiciled in the Northern District of Florida. And he's technically a fucking resident. He's not a domiciliary. I would argue he's a resident. He's a legal resident of Florida. He's not domiciled there. He's domiciled in fucking, I don't know, Srebrenica or something. I don't know. It's where he lives. You know, some Croatian family got displaced and Null took their house. Or, I don't know, Null lives in... Null chased some gypsies out of a place in Romania and he took over there. Wherever that he lives. Maybe Null lives in Moldova. You know, actually, I could see Null living in Transnistria. That's what I could see. Null's in Chisinau. Whatever the fuck they call it over there. Whether the Northern District of Florida has personal jurisdiction over Kiwi Farms is not relevant. Why? Because Kiwi Farms is a website and therefore not a legal entity capable of being sued. This is a hint to you, Russell. This is a hint to you. You know, the court has assumed the role of your father and is trying to help guide you a little here, too. You can't sue Kiwi Farms. Although I hope it'd be fucking hilarious if you just named Kiwi Farms and then got a judgment, because if I was Null, I wouldn't respond. You're suing a non-entity. It's like suing the fucking Easter Bunny. So take your squeegee and fucking wipe off your keyboard. You know, let's go. Venue is also proper in the Northern District of Florida. Claims under the Copyright Act are governed by the venue provisions, which that suits in the district where the defendant or his agents reside or may be found. A defendant may be found where he can be served with process. That is, in a district may assert personal jurisdiction over the defendant. And Russell couldn't serve him there, in Utah. So, hold on here. The defendants are subject to personal jurisdiction in the Northern District of Florida because Null lives there. Thus, defendants demonstrated the Northern District of Florida as a proper venue under Section 1400A. And because jurisdiction, both subject matter and personal, and venue are proper in the Northern District of Florida, this action could have originated there, which meets the first requirement. Now, they point out the defendants fail to show why Florida is more convenient than Utah. Instead, they argue resolving this case in Utah would neither be more convenient than Florida, nor more favorable to the interest of justice. Normally, this type of argument is insufficient to establish a second factor, but this case is not normal because Greer's choice of Utah as the forum in this action is accorded little weight. Because Greer is not a resident of Utah, and Utah lacks any significant connection with the operative facts of this case. Now, here's the thing. He would have lost in the first prong, but if he had made a decent response, there would have been some issue for Null. But the bigger fatality for Russell at this point, and Greer's problem, why do I call him Russell and Greer? Russell's problem is he doesn't have any ties to Utah. He doesn't live in Utah. Nothing happened in Utah. That is a critical thing he would never be able to overcome because that's a fact that he can't change. Moreover, Greer did not oppose the motion to transfer. And that is the ultimate, that's really the ultimate reason. He never opposed it. Remember what I said before, guys. Remember what I said before when Russell asked for all these fucking stays. When you ask for a stay, you're asking for a continuance. You better be fucking working on things. Because I've had a case where, you know what? We needed a continuance. We needed time. You know what? I had a feeling we weren't going to be granted it, so I kept working on my motion. And the court said, you know what? Nope. I'm not granting the motion to continue. I will give you, and it was like I filed it on a Friday, and the deadline was Monday. By Tuesday, an order came out. Because on Monday, they said they're taking it under advisement. By Tuesday, an order came out saying, I'm not extending it the 30 days you want. You have until Thursday to get it in. Actually, no, wait, it was Wednesday. So I had 1 day to get it, on Tuesday, and it was due the next day. I've been working on it diligently, and I worked over the weekend. I put in a lot of fucking hours over the weekend to get it done. And guess what? By Tuesday, I was almost done with it. And I got it done Tuesday afternoon, put it down, woke up Wednesday morning, proofread it, and submitted it. Because it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, especially in this situation. You're asking for 90 fucking days? Shit lips, you know that's a lot. You know that's a lot, honey. You were already given a whole month and a half to get ready for it. And you fucked around. You had a whole month and a half from the beginning or mid-January to the end of February. 45 days. And yet there's too many motions. 45 days and you didn't even fucking finish one of them. You didn't even finish one of them. I mean, that gives the court even more incentive to not grant it because they know you're just fucking off. Like, just if you keep drooling on your fucking phone, like, beating it to girls who won't sleep with you. Like, what the fuck were you doing that whole time? That's the problem here. You completely fucked off. And now the fucking train left the station. You're saying, although the choice of forum should rarely be disturbed, Greer's choice of forum receives less deference, however, because he doesn't reside there. There's also little weight to the choice of forum where the facts giving rise to the lawsuit have no material relation or significant connection to the plaintiff's chosen forum. And there's literally nothing there. You reside in Nevada, Russell, and Utah lacks significant connection with the operative facts. Besides, Greer residing in West Jordan, Utah, when he filed the complaint. But then you moved. His allegations appear to relate to actions taken on the internet and targeted at no particular location. Therefore, even though his choice of forum would normally remain undisturbed, because it would have been in Utah, it should have stayed in Utah, he's entitled to little, if any, weight because Utah has nothing to do with it. If there was something there, but there isn't. And remember, all the stalking and all the harassing, things he might have been able to show happened in Utah. Well, they're gone. You didn't appeal them. Poof, they got dismissed. So it's all gone, Russell. Moreover, the failure to respond does not help the situation. Greer did not provide any information to help the court understand whether there is any significant difference between the District of Utah and the Northern District of Florida. Regarding the cost of making the necessary proof, the enforceability of the judgment, the relative ability to receive a fair trial, or other difficulties. Additionally, this court dismissed all potential state law claims, and Greer did not pursue them on appeal. Okay. Consequently, there's concerns about conflicts of laws, and the interpretation of local laws are not an issue. Therefore, even though the defendants have not affirmatively shown Florida's more convenient, nothing weighs against the transfer. So, the defendant's motion to transfer is granted. The motion to compel is denied. It is so ordered. Boom. By the magistrate. Kapow. Good job, Russell. Good job. You stupid fucking idiot. You literally fucking had it. You literally fucking had it. Michael Boyle says, don't you normally want to file where the defendant has assets? It doesn't matter because it's in federal court. You would get your judgment and then you'd seek to file your judgment through state court and enforce it through there. So not really, not really that big a deal. In a state court actions, yes, you would definitely want to do that, but in this situation, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Well, I mean, for Russell, it would have been a fucking monumental thing, because even if he gets the judgment, let's say he's granted $1 million fucking dollars, he isn't going to know how to fucking collect on that. He doesn't know how to do it. I mean, shit, that's hard for attorneys to do. Collect on things. So, subject matter jurisdiction is admiralty courts, and you got no grounds. Yes. Sean sounds the same at 1.5 times speed. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay. Alpha Fox says, yes, gets confusing as shit. Yes. Conflicts of law are fucking ridiculous at times. So, he's in Belgrade? Okay, well, wherever. Null lives in the ruins of the Chinese embassy after we fucking put a tomahawk into it when they tried to steal the F-117 wreckage. I'm going to start that rumor. Null lives in the bombed out Chinese embassy. Null lives in Israel. You know how fucking bad the website would fucking literally melt down if that were true? Oh my god, it'd be China syndrome. We would literally fucking melt all the way down through China to China. Null lives in Tarkov, yes. Oh, he did reside in Moldova for a short while. I was just making a joke, but I didn't know that. You hear that they prefer to be called Prednistrovia instead of Tranny Town. Yes. I thought Null was in Kharkov. No, Null left the Salo Reich many moons ago. No pun intended there. No, Null has not been in Holistan for quite a while. So, Null lives in our hearts. Yes, he does. Along with Coach Red Pill. Let's see. Don't be so hard on Russell. He made Null $100,000. Remember, the money's gone to Hardin. The LolCal litigation fund has gone to Hardin. Null doesn't get a dime of that. So, Null didn't make any money. Hardin just got a $150,000 war chest that he can draw from. As in his trust fund. Not his trust fund. No, because he's actually practicing his trust account. So, it's not really Null's money. And Future Mr. Mario 2.0 says, there's a website where people watch an underwater webcam to see a fish show up and ring the doorbell for them to open it up so they can pass through. Yes, it's for Utrecht in the Netherlands. I guess. Didn't know that. So. Articles and Happenings would be a fireworks show. Yes. Null actually lives in Akron. My God, I don't know. It's almost better living in Israel than Akron. Even with the people trying to cut your head off. Although that happens in Akron too. Yes, apparently he was in Odessa for a little bit as well. So that happened. Happy trails to Utah. We're sneeding our way to the Sunshine State. The Sneedshine State. The Sun Sneed State. That's right. Sneeding our way across the country. Reformed Convict says, make 2.0 limp tomorrow for me, brother. You can do it. I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. Thank you. Good to see you. I like your little digger logo in there, too. So. Oh. Blade 2.0 is saying Null would be able to retain any monetary settlements awarded, if any, through future litigation, right? What do you mean? What do you mean he would be able to retain them? Are you saying because technically it would go to the local LLC, or what do you? I don't know. I don't get what you're getting at there. Maybe I'm not understanding you. I know I'm not understanding you, but I'm not sure what you mean. So, and I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just don't understand. So, if you want to say something later, so. Oh, Blade, you're saying, okay, you're saying if he pays Hardin to sue someone, okay, yes, he gives Hardin the money for a retainer, and the retainer money goes into the IOLTA account. And then Hardin draws from that as he does work. Okay. If he pays Hardin to sue someone from the IOLTA, could he keep any compensation awarded? Well, the way it works is, the way it should happen is, let's say Russell had $1 million. Null had a judgment for $1 million against Russell. And Russell, not being a piece of shit, actually paid. He would write the check to Hardin, and this is how it should be done to show things are done properly. Hardin would deposit the check in his trust account, and then from there, he would write Null a check out of his trust account, showing to Null for $1 million, and the money would go to Null. Now, the local litigation fund money would stay with Hardin because Null is still his client, and Lolcal LLC is the client. But if Null were to leave, he would get all the money back that Hardin hasn't earned. I hope that answers your question. Now, why would that check get cashed in the account and then drawn and back out again? That's just to show a paper trail that things were properly settled. And that way, Greer would have the peace of mind to be able to show, look, I did pay Null. Null got the money. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Blade. I doubt Greer... Oh, he doesn't have any fucking money at all. No. I was saying hypothetically. No, he doesn't... Greer doesn't have any fucking money. So. Okay, so that's what you're asking. All right. All right, so. In response to that, though, guys, we got a couple more to do, though. We got a couple more. We got to get done so we're ready for Jeff tonight. We go from document 97. And, oh, yeah. We go from document 97 to document 98. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, so the same day, literally filed at the end of the business day. Now, remember, in the federal system with e-filing, if you file at any point up to midnight, it still counts as March 20th. But he filed it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's from Shitlips himself. What does he say? Plaintiff's motion to reconsider the order granting change of venue pursuant to Rule 60. Reverse the case. Transfer. And motion to properly apply to the motion to change venue. I was too busy cooming, Judge. Once again, what is it with this fucking, you don't, right here. You hit spacebar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a proper indent. Where you hit tab and you have it properly marked and formatted. he respectfully and urgently requests for reconsideration of the court's granting of change of venue, and respectfully requests the case be transferred back to Utah, or on the alternative, Nevada. Additionally, plaintiff requests the opportunity to reply to the motion to change venue. You had 45 days to respond. You had 45 days. Like I said, you didn't even fucking work on any of them, Russell. You didn't fucking work on any of them. What the fuck, man? Yes, he has to indent to explain. Yes. I'm sure he has also probably got fucking... The only indent is on his fucking skull. But still. Russell, bro. Russell bros, come on now. This court granted the defendant's motion to change venue. In part, it reached its conclusion because of the plaintiff's failure to respond. There appears to be a glaring misunderstanding, mistake, and excusable neglect on plaintiff's end that has robbed plaintiff of fairness and justice. Now, I will say, excusable neglect, I've had to do that before. You miss a deadline, or you miss something, or something didn't get filed right, and you're like, Your Honors, I'd asked to have this heard in stanter, this filed in stanter. I know the deadline is a week before the hearing. I fucked it up. Excusable neglect. I messed up. Okay. It happens. It happens sometimes. And you say excusable neglect. I fucked up, Judge. My bad. Now, the excusable neglect is like a one-time thing. Or like once every couple of years. You know, you can't excusably neglect your way through like the next 6 months. Doesn't work that way, chat. But there's a glaring misunderstanding. No, I'm pretty sure we all understand what's going on. And this has robbed the plaintiff of fairness and justice. Your Honor, I've robbed myself of justice. Your Honor, I have taken the gnarled cock of the law and fucked myself in the ass with it. Null handed it to me, and I shoved it up my ass, is what he's saying. So the standards for Federal Civil Procedure 60B reconsideration. A court may relieve a party from a final judgment for a variety of reasons, including mistake, inadvertent surprise or excusable neglect, and, Section 6, any other reason that justifies relief. Although motions filed within 10 days of an order are construed as Rule 59E motions, and, okay, that's actually correct. That's correct. I didn't actually read this part of his thing, and it's like, it's actually not a bad thing he did there, pointing that out. The motions should be based on the reasons expressed by the movement, not on the timing of the motion. Because obviously you'd want people to file as soon as possible if something happened. You wouldn't want them to wait longer because that makes things worse. The longer something has been in effect, the more likely it's going to stay. The more it becomes final. It solidifies. It gets hard. Rule 60B is an extraordinary procedure which seeks to strike a delicate balance between two countervailing impulses. The desire to preserve finality of judgments and the incessant command of the court's conscience that justice be done in light of all the facts. Also, before you freak out, that says Eskenazi, not Ashkenazi. So calm down, chat. Although it's a bunch of elves fighting with, maybe it means Eskenazi, like the elves and the Jews are fighting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So the rules should be liberally construed when substantial justice will thus be served. Yes. When a movement has demonstrated mistake, inadvertent surprise, or excusable neglect is an issue to be litigated on the merits. The trial court must be determined whether excusable neglect has in fact been established, resolving all doubts in favor of the party seeking relief. For purposes Rule 60B, excusable neglect is understood to encompass situations in which failure to comply with the deadline is attributable to negligence. This instant motion plainly seeks relief from the March 20th order Granting based on a pro se litigant's mistake. When determining whether neglect is excusable is at bottom an equitable one, taking account of all relevant circumstances surrounding the party's omission. Relevant factors include the danger of prejudice to the opposing party, the length of delay, and its potential impact on proceedings, the reason for the delay, including whether it was reasonable within the reasonable control of the movement, and whether the movement acted in good faith. Fault in the delay remains a very important factor, perhaps the most single important factor in determining whether neglect is excusable. Additional consideration is whether the party's underlying claim is meritorious. So the underlying claim, contributory copyright. Well, you've got a problem there, Russell, because they don't think it was meritorious. They already said it's bullshit. Now, the idea it's plausible and could survive summary judgment's one thing, but this court definitely doesn't fucking think you have a chance. Also, I should point out that within about 30 minutes of this being filed, Russell belted out this shit. So, of the granting. So yes, he had time to put this all together the same fucking day. Where's the motion in opposition to changing venue, Russell? Where is it? You, like, if you had filed it, look, I have it ready to go right now, Your Honor. Like, take a look at this shit. Like, you didn't even do that. You didn't even do that, which I don't think it would have mattered at all, but at least it was showing you're fucking serious, because right now you haven't demonstrated shit. So the plaintiff legitimately thought the motion to stay automatically halted all of their deadlines. Okay, your motion to stay was never granted. Your motion to stay was never granted. If it's not granted, nothing stayed. The idea if you file something it's automatically granted makes no fucking sense. It's like, I filed a motion to stay. Okay. It was stayed. Russell, if you filed a motion to change venue, would you go, oh, it's already changed? You'd already be fucking scheduling the condo down in Florida. No. You have to have it granted before it goes into effect. I mean, think about it. You don't file a motion to dismiss and go, well, yep, mic drop, it's all done. I filed a motion to dismiss. It's therefore in effect. No, it doesn't. You have to, it has to be addressed first. And the court denied it. And gave you till February 29th to fucking get it done. It's why he never responded to the pending motions of the defendants. You already had a deadline, the 29th. And it was never, there was nothing ever filed by the court that said, disregard that deadline. If a court says that deadline is no longer in effect, then you could say, sweet. You can go, or whatever the fuck it is you'll say. But Russell, this is bullshit. Nobody fucking believes that. Nobody's that fucking stupid. It wasn't a matter of not wanting to participate in litigation. Oh, no, it is. You're fucking... I got the car. I'm like a dog chasing after the car, and I don't know what to do with myself. You don't know what to fucking do. You've never gotten this far. You've never gotten this far. You don't know what to fucking do. You're scared. I get it. You don't know what to do. It was honestly being a naive litigant unaware of the litigation process. Plaintiff never filed a motion to stay before and honestly believed the motion stayed other deadlines. His research did not tell him otherwise. What fucking research? This is where, if you had research, attached Exhibit A. Who told you this? Where did you find it? Because let's say you found it it was in the, you went to the court, law.cornell where they do the legal project. Did you find something saying that? Did you find commentary somewhere stating that? Did you find something in the civil rules stating that? Like, why? What made you justify that decision? The court may recall the purpose of filing a motion to stay was to have experienced counsel answer important motions filed by competent counsel. Yeah, but your motion to stay was denied. Like, you filed the motion on February 7th. You filed the motion to stay February 7th. Okay. Motion to stay for 90 days, February 7th. Cool. And it got denied. There was no, I mean, because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. And that's your problem. And an even bigger issue, though, is what happened March 14th. Your motion to stay was denied. Okay? Your motion to stay got denied March 14th. Okay? Talking about your motion to stay for 90 days. Okay. Well, I thought it stayed everything. All right. So you seeing here was denied. Did you file it the next fucking day? No. You sat around and fucked around for a whole nother week, beating your fucking meat, Russell. Sat around, I'm just going to beat my dick raw. You know, as he wants to talk about, in other cases involving actual and trained licensed lawyers, have granted Rule 60B motions for the mistakes of lawyers. In Jennings, a Rule 60B motion was granted because the district court improperly analyzed the Rule 60B motion and didn't analyze other terms as just. Okay? You didn't properly analyze the motion to change venue. I mean, if you're going to argue that's a situation, yes, the judge reversed it. It got reversed. But what did the judge do wrong? What did he improperly analyze? It didn't analyze other terms. Okay? You know, in Van Sciver, a pro se litigant's motion for reconsideration was denied because the plaintiff did not cite any exceptional circumstances to invoke Rule 60B. The exceptional circumstances are namely there was no opportunity after the motion to stay was denied. You literally had a whole 7 fucking days. Okay? You had from January 17th to February 29th. Literally 43 days, 44 days. Let's just call it 43 days, okay? All right? Plus 13 more days. That's 56 days from January 17th to March 13th. 56 fucking days, Russell. And you couldn't fucking do it. Like, I'd love to sit there and look at his fucking thing, right? I know he filed this. Oh my God! Ah! I guarantee he hasn't fucking done a goddamn thing. I guarantee he hasn't fucking touched any of it. He hasn't touched a fucking thing at fucking all, I guarantee it. So, was denied for plaintiff to answer the pending motions from defendants. This was clearly a mistake and misunderstanding on plaintiff's end. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, guys. We had to switch back over. Somebody made sure we weren't on the right document still. But you have this problem, Russell. Trained and actual licensed lawyers, yes. Because the judge improperly analyzed the terms. Okay, so lawyers, but that's not what you cite here. And then exceptional circumstances. There was no opportunity after the motion stay was denied. I mean, I'm going to just double check that. Date and time calculator. Let's count at between dates. Start date, January 17th. End date, March 13th. Include the end date in the calculation. 57 days. God, I'm actually good. I'm getting good at this from doing the appeal stuff. You're sharing the wrong doc. Yeah, sorry. We got caught up. Yes, guaranteed. I guarantee you, he has not fucking done it. There's no opportunity to answer the pending motions. My nigga, you had 56 days. You had 56 days of drooling and masturbating and cooming and fucking, watching Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl and then getting mad. I'm sure you can sit there and angrily masturbate about it. Whatever else it is you do for a living. You didn't fucking do it. This is clearly a mistake and misunderstanding on plaintiff's end. The excusable neglect was very apparent by the plaintiff clearly not replying to important motions such as a motion to transfer because he believed a motion to stay paused the case. If that motion to stay was being denied, he would be given the opportunity to reply. No, that's not how that fucking works, homie. This isn't your first rodeo in court either, though. And if you'd be given time to reply, you had 56 days. 56 days to write a motion to oppose changing venue. Of all of those, that's the biggest one, I would argue. If you don't answer that, then that one goes off into the hinterlands. Let's say you lose the motion for a more definitive statement. Okay, you have to provide a more definitive statement. Like, these other ones weren't that bad. I mean, they weren't all good. They weren't all, it wasn't a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it wasn't. But I mean, come on, Russell. This seriously, man. This seriously. The motion to strike and I mean, you would have had a chance to respond to a lot of this. Would have been pretty easy, but the motion to change venue, that's a big deal to you? Well, I guess, if it's that fucking big a deal, why didn't you fucking do it? So you didn't fucking do it, my man. You sat there and fucked around. Oh, god damn it, it just went. Fucking Russell drooled on fucking the internet somewhere. So. I erased the motion. No, Russell drooled on the internet. That's what happened. Russell was probably responsible for all the Tay prawn. Oh, I guarantee you, but he's probably beating off to all of it. He's like, I'll punish her. I'll punish her. And then he started realizing he started whacking off to it too. So, but you had 56 days, man. 56 days to get this done. Took Russell Greer to teach me math. No, doing appellate work has taught me math and knowing the day, counting days in my head. Alpha Fox says, would you respond and submit them all individually? Yes. As I'm working on them, I'd be knocking them out. And then if it's late, I would immediately be going to get going on this one. Especially after the motion to stay. Like, I mean, but whatever would have been done, I would have started getting shit filed, but I would have been, like, knowing I had to get the dates in order. So, he was busy setting up his soon-to-be whorehouses. Yeah. Oh. Do I know? I know MAF Firearms Corporation. I buy the wind chimes, yeah. Get some of the 3D printer wind chimes coming up. Oh. But let's get to this, guys. There's still more to this. There's still more here. Russell, you fucked yourself in the ass, and you're like, you know, the excusable neglect was because he didn't understand and not replying. You should have known something was wrong, Judge. You should have known something was wrong because I didn't respond. I'm so fucking smart. You're so stupid. You should have realized, oh, where's our boy Russell? He's not here. It's not like Russell not to respond to things or jerk around on a fucking case. No, not our boy. Not our drooling fucking mongoloid boy, Russell. No. He's the pride and joy of this court. Truly the greatest jurist in the District of Utah. Yes. No harm to the defendants if motion and granted and case transferred back. I don't even think legally can do that. Once it's gone, Russell. As the 10th Circuit recounted in the appeal of this case, the defendants have stalked and harassed plaintiff to the ends of the earth. That's not a claim we have anymore, Russell, so I don't know, maybe you can, like, tape tampons, like, underneath, like, on your chin to keep all the drool. Like a little dam. Like, let them sog up there a little. Russell has begged the defendants and their counsel to simply remove him from the Kiwi farms. Yet they refuse such a simple request. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no, chat. That's not a fucking claim anymore, Russell. You lost those ones, honey. They're gone. Because of Kiwi Farm, you dare fucking not capitalize us. And their stalking behaviors. As reported by numerous outlets, Greer's life is damaged, and he can't release any more of his copyrighted works because the infringement continues. Oh. It is important to mention all this because there will be zero harm if this motion is granted and the case comes back to Utah, because the defendants have spent 8 years harassing Greer. The plaintiff in turn seeks vindication. I seek satisfaction. Imagine that if Greer challenged Null to a duel. Null's like, fine, we'll use flintlock pistols. Be a problem for Greer as he turns around and points. No, Josh is like, I'll let you go first, Russell. Russell turns and presents and just fucking drools all over the fucking pan and frizz and goes, psh, doesn't fucking fire. Imagine him like being on a Napoleonic cannon crew. He just drools on the sponge when they're sponging out the barrel in between shots. He just standing there going, oh God, that'd be so disgusting. Getting sprayed by fucking Greer spittle as you fire the cannon. We're worried about that than the fucking grape shot. So, yes. by Joshua Connor Moon and the terrorist network. Like I said, Russell, I've been involved with people I know who have probably been designated terrorists or suspected of being terrorists. This ain't a terrorist network, bro. I wish it was, because it'd probably be even more fun. Farms are fun, and it'd be even more fun if it was a terrorist network. But it's not, sadly. But one day we'll build our home. That have ruined the lives of many people. Nope. People ruin their own lives. The Farms just merely observes. As shown below, the defendants waived a motion to transfer. If only you could have made this argument in a fucking timely manner, buddy. The transfer is invalid because the defendants waived their rights to a motion. In addition to excusable neglect, the order granting a motion to transfer doesn't make sense as the defendants waived any jurisdiction issues. Indeed, the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12G through H reads, a party waives any defense listed in Rule 12B 2 through 5 by omitting it from a motion in the circumstances described in 12G2, or failing to either make it by motion under this rule or include it in a responsive pleading in an amendment allowed by Rule 15 as a matter of course. When they originally filed their motion in 2021, they only stated that plaintiff failed to state a claim and argued defendants weren't liable for copyright infringement or other tort claims. Never once was jurisdiction an issue until the 10th Circuit ruled against Joshua Connor Moon. Who happened to also lambast not just plaintiff, but also the 10th Circuit judges who wooed against him. I know, he's such a bad man. He's such a bad man, Russell. He's like the Frog Man and the Orange Man combined. The Mutt Man is bad, chat. The Mutt Man is bad. The Kiwi Man, he's so bad. This is precisely why plaintiff was trying to stay the case, so he can gather the funds to retain counsel, because these are motions that he's unfamiliar with. You figured this fucking out, like, you filed this response the same day, so something you had figured out, like, how did you figure it out in 10 minutes? You're fucking smarter than I am then. So, what's the deal, Russ? But the federal rules are clear. If a party fails to raise an issue in a Rule 12 motion, they waive that claim. If the court permits plaintiff to properly reply to the motion to transfer, plaintiff will give a more thorough argument. Plaintiff only cites the FRCP to show the right to contest venue was waived by the defendants, and thus it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. Plaintiff still has contacts in Utah! You gotta put, like, notice there's no, like, Roman numeral or, like, a letter going next to these headings. It's just fucking spaz posting. In granting the motion to transfer, the court cited the plaintiff no longer lives in the court's jurisdiction. This is true. However, the original harms happened in Utah, and Greer's family, some friends, and his alma mater are still in Utah. None of those are relevant. What? The original harms, you mean the copyright infringement? Remember, you lost all your other shit, Holmes. It's all gone. It's all gone, Russell. It's done. You know, it's muerto. I don't know. You live out west. You know Spanish, right? It's muerto. Or, you know, is tot. If you understand the Deutsch. In fact, Utah is closer to Nevada than Florida is. He understands geography, which, to be fair, a lot of Americans don't even fucking understand geography. So I will give you that one, Russell. You got that right. The plaintiff has zero contacts with Florida, except for the continued harassment he's received from Josh Moon and Kiwi Farms. Notice he's not even addressing the copyright thing, because, like, I think he understands that's right, or he's just too fucking retarded. I don't know. Plaintiff is not a lawyer, nor has he ever held himself out to be one, nor has he filed a motion to stay before. So it's completely true he's confused on believing his case was paused. He also naively believed the court would allow plaintiff to reply if the motion to stay was denied. Can't be said the plaintiff wasn't participating in the litigation when he was clearly replying to every single frivolous notice filed by the defendants. Every single notice is frivolous? The defendant's contention about return mail when the defendant's very own exhibit of return mail wasn't even the Twain address. Fucking indents, my brother. This case being transferred to Florida has caused more headache to plaintiff. I mean, on the positive side, Russell, when you're down there, it's going to be, like, if you have to show up down there, it's going to be humid and hot out. So, like, when you drool, people aren't going to know if you're sweating or that's drool. So, it'll kind of blend in. Silver linings. Silver linings, Russell. And see, unlike me, if I went down there, they would just know I'm fat and sweating. But for you, they won't know. They won't know. It'll be a mystery. You know, you'll be building a mystery down there. The plaintiff is a real person. Well, I hope so, because, I mean, like, it sounds like we're getting to fucking sovereign citizen territory. He has a son, a brother, a good person who fucking dates hookers, whose life has been ruined by the defendants. Oh, I'm sure that's why your life's in the shitter, buddy. Weren't for those fucking farms, you'd be driving your Maserati and just have a dick completely chafed raw from blowjobs. That's what's holding you back, Russell. The farms. He could get, you know, he could go over to Biden and have like a drone strike, wipe out the farms, and life would be good for Russell. It'd be only aces for Russell if that happened. The prayer for relief is for the court to reconsider its 320 motion and send it back to Utah. Alternatively, if the court wants plaintiff to reply to the motion to transfer, he can do that too. Like, that's not how you end a sentence, Russell. Where's the rest of it? Where'd it go, Russell? Did you drool so hard that it got, like, wiped off the paper? This is printed, I'd be like, did your drool wipe it off and then run away? You mean period. Boop, period. Respectfully submitted by Russell Greer, pro se litigant. Although I've noticed this, the way Russell signs, I mean, shit. It's like the guy in My Left Foot trying to sign. Although I'm pretty sure the guy in My Left Foot had a better signature than this. So, yeah. So where are we at, chat? Yes, the kind of son and brother who couldn't come to his sister's wedding reception because he wouldn't promise not to spurg about his lust for Taylor Swift. The prayer for relief, that's actually normal. You pray to the court. Wherefore, we pray that this honorable court will grant the relief we've requested. We pray this court will grant the defendant's request to modify bond. We pray that the court will grant plaintiff's request to amend their complaint and leave the court to amend their complaint. That's not at all, that's normal. That's normal. That's normal. Maybe Russell should just try being gay. Well, he doesn't have, here's the problem though. He doesn't have a purty mouth. So, you know what's closer to Nevada than Florida? Nevada. Yeah. That's the funny part. So, somebody did bring this up before. I know it was on the farms. But it was also an issue is, what about the ruling from the 11th Circuit or the 10th Circuit? Does that apply in this case? No, it's no longer binding. The 11th Circuit can decide we're going to fucking disregard that. I mean, they can turn around and still decide, yeah, we don't think this case is right and still seek to dismiss it. So yeah, that they could say, yeah, we don't think it's plausible, we disagree. That would create a circuit split, and then yeah, this could go, that would create another issue before the Supreme Court. But I still think they could dismiss this at some point, and then hopefully they do, because I'm assuming this court's not going to fuck around with it. And I bet Russell's claims go against 11th, the actual case law in the 11th district. So, bitch better start kneeling. Yes, he will. Yes. Many petitions to the government are phrased in the form of a prayer too. Yes. Yes. So, we're almost done here, chat. We're getting through them. So, and it's funny because in addition to that stuff he did on the 20th, he has more shit he filed, and notice what he still hasn't filed. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore because it's already been sent. It's already been sent. The case has been transferred. But now he's out here report on the filing of a determination of an action or appeal regarding a copyright. He still hasn't even filed the fucking motions. He's fucking around with all this shit. Where's your motion about the strike? Motion about joinder? Motion for a more definitive statement? Motion to substitute? You haven't addressed any of that. Even the motion for venue, you still don't have it ready. You were fucking around getting your copyright shit done. In the meantime, Russell, you were still fucking around doing this. You stupid fucking moron. So, it's just, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? This shit getting filed. You're fucking around with everything, Russell. I mean, the courts are notifying people. The court's notifying people. The Register of Copyrights is letting people know this stuff has happened. But you still haven't done anything, Russell. Even the Copyright Office has gotten off its ass. You're still fucking around, though. And then that same day, the court again responds to Russell. Another memorandum decision in order. They point out the motion to transfer. They're talking about it. They talk about here, they say that the lack of response grants the motion to transfer, and due to the transfer of this case, the court says the motion to compel compliance, well, it doesn't matter anymore. Well, and that's fair because, yeah, you can't really do anything else. So we get through all of that, and we get to all of this, and it's refiled there, and they say, yeah, it's still moot. So that's the next thing that got filed. And I just point that out because it's there. And Hardin, as a beast, is belting out belting this shit out. As Greer's running around screaming and throwing chairs, Hardin just comes down and sits and says, this court has no ability to reconsider its transfer order. Now another court has assumed jurisdiction. Even if this court wished to entertain Greer's motion, the grave practical and jurisdictional problems doing so, Greer also has not established excusable neglect. Greer's mistakes were plain, and the defendant took pains to notify him his duty to engage with legal process on multiple occasions. Nor did Greer respond to pending motions after the court itself made it clear that its ruling that there would not be a stay in this case. Greer's continued and persistent neglect was patently inexcusable. And that's the point. He kept on fucking around. He didn't do anything, and he still hasn't done anything. Lastly, even in a request for consideration, and even after this court made extraordinarily clear what evidence Greer could have presented to oppose the transfer, Greer still entirely failed to make the required showing. And that's a big point. Even right now, on the 21st, this is the next filing. There is still no filing, even right now. Even right now, the 22nd. Russell Greer still has not filed a fucking thing to say, hey, look, here's what I could do. So, Russell, you keep talking about you don't fucking do it. Like, you don't just get to say, oh, I want to do it, and then I need another month. Because that's what would happen. They'd say, fine, we'll do it. Oh, I need more time. No, fucking file it. Show them, if you fuck up like this, you have to have it ready to go and show them what's going on. If it's there, that, even Hardin's opposing him. He's like, well, fuck. If he at least filed it, you might have something to show for it, and he doesn't. Not Hardin. When he says he, I'm referring he as in Greer. Greer hasn't fucking filed anything. He still didn't file anything. And that's really bad. If Greer had even bothered to put on such evidence rather than ignoring pending motions. Even after this court's ruling, however, Greer has said nothing at all about these factors. The motion, this document number 98, says nothing about the cost of making proof or what that proof might be, the enforceability of a judgment, or anything else. Instead, merely the defendant asserts a headache, a wising in some fashion under the transfer. As another district court once put it, no one is forcing the plaintiff to pursue this lawsuit or pursue it alone. He is the plaintiff. Russell, you are the plaintiff. You are the hardship. Litigation is stressful. It is one reason among many that an entire profession exists to assist lay people in navigating the adversarial legal system. Hightower versus Southern California. The defendants respectfully submit whatever headaches of Mr. Greer's they might be, they are not caused by the court or its filings. Hardin Law Office, Matthew D. Hardin, attorney for defendants. Great work, Hardin. And when we look, guys, that is it for there. That is it for the District of Utah. But that's not where the saga ends. We now get to move on to the Northern District of Florida, where what happens basically, well, it's funny you may ask that. Everything starts from where we left off. So notice this case isn't, you can't see the documents because we're in a different court now and they weren't filed through there on Pacer. So somebody has to go on Pacer through the Northern District of Florida and look for all this shit. We're not going to do that because that costs money. For the scope of what I'm doing. Oh, who is texting me like crazy? Okay. So all of this, boom, boom, boom. We're going back to where we were, guys. Look what happened. Granting motion to change venue. So there we go, guys. There we go, chat. So it picks up right where they left off, a handoff. Now notice there's a bit of a difference here where there's a deviation. These documents now are no longer the same because those things were filed in a different court. So instead, we have the decision for attorneys in their pro hoc vice status. So here is Hardin's pro hoc motion. So, and if you guys didn't know this, here's some information. Hardin graduated from the Appalachian School of Law in May 2014. I passed the bar in 2014. My nigga. He was later admitted to practice in Virginia that same year. It sounds like he took the, was actually admitted, was admitted to the bar on October of 2014. So it sounds like he took the July bar. The Virginia State Bar to the Virginia Supreme Court on 12/3/2014. That's weird because in Ohio, I can appear in any court organized through the state of Ohio. So I can, as soon as I passed the bar and I was sworn in, I could argue in front of the Supreme Court technically. And that would be fucking insane, but I could have. So that's weird that you have to be admitted to your state Supreme Court, but every state's different. Every state's different. I'm not going to argue with it. Every state's different. But yeah, he's not an old timer, but he's still kind of a young buck like me, about 10 years in. Much respect, homie. Hardin has regularly represented Moon in various matters in other states since the fall of 2020. He appeared pro hoc in this case prior and transfer while it was pending in Utah. Hardin has registered for e-filing in this court and has satisfied all requirements relating to registration, including certifying familiarity with this court's procedural rules. Remember, every court's got its local rules. You've got all those other rules, and then the last one on top, boop, are the local rules. Every court's got their own local rules. And remember, there are some times where from court to court, judge to judge, they have their own rules on top of that. Generally not like in federal court, not to that extent, but especially in state courts, yeah. Courtroom to courtroom. But that's what attorneys do. They know this shit. When you're a shit-lipped, drooling fucking asshole of a human being, you don't know this stuff. You don't. So, yeah. And then we already talked about this previously, but his bar membership list. You know, we've got all the places he's been admitted. You know, his state bar memberships. I don't think we covered this before, the state bar memberships, but District of Columbia. But yeah, once you pass in any other state, you can get in the District of Columbia. That's actually kind of a common way of doing it. Maryland, Minnesota, New York. That's a lot of them. That's a lot of fucking money. Vermont, Virginia, and Washington State. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's got all these pro hoc because you get admitted to the federal districts, all these, the federal appellate courts, and we already talked about a bunch of this stuff. So he's also, I didn't know this, the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court and the Muskogee, the Creek Nation Supreme Court. Remember, they are sovereign entities. They have their own courts. So they have their own laws. Mr. Sniper says, what is the original harm of the case? Or what is the reason and why he's suing? Well, he's suing about the copyright infringement stuff. That there's a link on the forums leading to a Google Drive where somebody stored all the shit he made, and it's fucking awful. He also sued alleging other torts like harassment and stalking that was going on. So those got dismissed, and he didn't raise them on appeal, so they're gone. It's literally just the contributory copyright infringement. So, is the SCOTUS cert moot now? No. Mega Monster says, I don't see a transfer of venue this far into a case usually. Is this rare? I mean, not every case has this trajectory, so it's not necessarily rare, but, you know, if it has a trajectory like this, no, this is normal. If Null, do you go after Russell for attorney's fees and sanctions? Oh, yeah, of course you will, but he's not going to have shit to do. What, are you going to put a lien on his fucking half-built brothel? That's probably like a fucking Connex box somewhere sitting out in the middle of the desert with a couple of desiccating bodies in it of some hookers he forgot to, like, feed in water. You know what's going to happen. Like, he's going to have to go to Florida, and he's going to pull a Ralph, and he'll be like, all right. And he's like, he comes back, and the hookers he's abducted are dead in the back of the box, and he'll be like, but I left them a big pile of food and a big bowl of water, and they just died. He's going to pull a Ralph. That's how they're going to die. He'll come back, and they're just like withering husks of human beings. Let's see if you guys catch that one. James has a motion pertaining to the motion of the ocean. Yeah. Like a biscuit joiner, joinder. James says, so yeah, that's why I still prefer Hammurabi's code. Yes. If he drools on someone, for he shall be drooled upon 10 times as much. The king took a hand in ensuring the God of justice is justice. Yes, he did. I thought copyright notice was sent by the court. I thought the copyright notice was sent by the court. What? You either file late and ask for forgiveness. Yeah, but he hasn't done anything. James says, so all this is the past 2 to 5 days, pretty much. So. Kara says, you can almost argue the court went too far to help him. No, I mean, they're going to go out on the way to help people. That's what they do. The hardship of rethesis. Oh. Hardin must have enjoyed drafting this. I think so. Yes. If you replace all the planks of law with the LLC cow, is it still the ship of thesis? Yes. Oh. Yes, Keopathic says, Null uses Hardin, and it's super effective. Yes. Oh. You have to read the footnote at Hardin's last filing. Oh, I have to go back and read it? Okay, which, did I miss it? Hold on here. Did I fucking skip over it? I'm sorry, chat, if I did. My bad. The footnote in his last filing. Oh, okay. Yes, hold on here. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I didn't see the footnote. I wasn't even thinking about it. Hold on here. What's this footnote? All right. Share. What's the footnote here? Okay. All right. Mr. Greer appears to believe that he's in litigation with a terrorist network. Notwithstanding that, this is a copyright case involving the book Greer wrote about, Vexatious Litigation. Such delusions are not uncommon, but at least one district court has speculated that they may stem from an awareness of what you did and the consequences, rather than from any genuine mental incapacity. Holy shit. That is fucking spicy. Oh, God, I'm glad I did not read ahead on the farms in that thread and left it alone. Ow! Fucking A, Hardin, where do you find this shit? This is some good stuff. But yes, why he's a crazy, frivolous, and vexatious litigant. God damn, that's good. Hardin, you are a motherfucker, but you are awesome. Son of a bitch. I like this doc as speaking to Greer, not to the court. Yes. That is fucking brilliant. Greer only took the Xanny bar. Oh. The VA bar isn't terribly easy. No, it's not, but yeah. Some of them are worse than others. Comic says, I think that's where Steve Gosney went to law school, if I remember correctly. I thought he went somewhere in Florida. But who knows? He's suing because he's an incel with rage, yes. Yes, James, yes, it's the case of Cope versus Sneed. Who will win? Yes, Indian courts are pretty much the same. Yes, the courts are based upon law and they have very similar principles, but you have to be admitted. There's going to be things that are different, though. You have to know what the fuck you're doing in a tribal court. You don't have to wear face paint and headdresses. And scalps are not collected at the end of trial. But yes, I wouldn't just walk into a tribal court and act like I know what the fuck I'm doing. It might be easy enough I can pick it up, but I wouldn't walk in there and act like I got this shit on lock. This case shouldn't be even as far as it is. Yes. Yes. Kara says, shouldn't he be suing Google? Yes, that's why there's a motion for joinder of parties. And a very important party has been left out. Google, because it's on Google Drive. That Ralph reference made me sad. Well, Jim says, don't make me get the Ralph male to jump on here to defend his honor. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth. Make it more fun to Russell than I am Ralph. I'm a habitual note skipper. I didn't realize it was there. Russell's new book, Why I Sued John Potter and How I Became Internet Famous as a Drooling Retarded and Autistic. Oh. I've been waiting this entire case to drop that footnote. Yes. Yes, he has, probably. Gosling went to Washington Lee in Lexington, Virginia. Ah! Right next to the campus of the Virginia Military Institute. Which is a beautiful campus in and of itself. They both are two beautiful campuses. So, yes, I'll bring the peace pipe. Don't wear a Chief Wahoo cap, yes. Sneed is always funnier, yes. The tribal court, both sides have to do the rain dance, and the one who successfully summons the rain wins. Yes. Oh. Yes, that was the Charlie. Oh, the Charlie Murphy. Yes, he's a habitual line stepper. Tribal court sounds fun. Yeah, well, they can do all kinds of shit. Like, you know, they took a whole bunch of like the Cherokee. They had a case where, hey, you know, the Cherokee owned slaves up until the Civil War when they weren't allowed to anymore. Well, those slaves were integrated into the tribe, and they became what was known as the Cherokee freedmen. Well, about 10 years ago, they had actually, maybe 10, 15 years ago now. Well, the tribe wants all that money that GIBSMIDAT, the government gives out. Well, there's not as much to go around if you have more people. So what did they do? They said, all you descendants of the Cherokee freedmen, y'all too black to be here. You're out of the tribe. Bye. And these are people who are multiple generational descendants of Cherokee Indians. And they're quite a bit Cherokee and like 50% Cherokee, 50% black. Like, significant. Sorry, you don't count anymore. You're gone. And there's nothing that can be done about that. Because they could do shit like that. So, tribal court is the tribes are fucking islands unto themselves. Yeah. VMI looks like a prison. Well, I mean, like, VMI is like it's known as a very austere military institution. It's better now, but I mean, for a very long time, it's still fairly Spartan and austere compared to other places. So, but it's got a really good history. Didn't some tribes own slaves even after the war? I think there may have been one or two. So, yeah, a year after the end of the Civil War, the U.S. forces had to step in and force them to release their slaves. Well, yeah. Yes, even the Indians are tired of the blacks. Sola says, no cut from the casinos. Well, no cut from the casinos and the federal government still doles out tons of money to the tribes. The tribes still get all kinds of money through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Don't you have to be on the Dawes rolls? I think that was their justification ultimately. I read it a long, long time ago why they kicked out the freedmen. But even then, they made their excuse and they kicked him out, and there's nothing that could be done about it. So, my engine name would be Sagan Bag. Oh. The Freeman case made it to the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and they said, sorry. Tri made their decision. We can't do nothing about it. VMI, Stonewall's old school. Yep. So, the Indians use every part of the firework. Oh. So, reservations get so much money from the feds, it's crazy, and yet the members stay super poor. Well, they get the money now, but for a long time, they really didn't get much fucking money. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they didn't, like, I'm not going to come out here and stand for the Indians because, I'm not, but I'm also going to admit, like, they kind of got done dirty for a long time. It's better than it was, but it's still kind of shitty. So, oh, chat, my chattel. So, Stacy says, yes, they required dissent from someone on the Dawes rolls. The freedmen were illegitimate, so not on the roll. Yeah, but I still think that was shitty what they did because those people, those were people they owned, and then they couldn't just turn them loose. So, yeah. Yep. Although, to be fair, they were descendants from somebody on the rolls because someone in the tribe had to have fucked one of the slaves, the freedmen, for these people to be alive. So I think that would be a fair enough argument, but whatever. Jim says, actually, they've been treated much better than any other conquered nation in history. No, I would argue the way we treated them was actually far worse than if we had just killed them all off. I mean, like, the people of Gaul, when Vercingetorix was finally forced to kneel before Caesar at the Battle of Alesia, the people of Gaul were treated far better in the aftermath than we treated the Indians. They were told assimilate or die, and they assimilated, and it was fine. The Romans then conquered Gaul. There was no more worry about Transalpine Gaul kind of being in the frontier anymore. Throughout history, I mean, we basically, we were too fucking lazy to kill them off. And I'd argue that's worse than just killing them all. Yeah, we didn't make them assimilate, and I'd argue that what we did was worse. We should have fucking killed them. That would have been a far better fate. Yeah, it would have helped I'm not joking. That would have helped everybody. Because it just would have been done. Instead, we were like, we kind of like true Americans, like the Americans we are, half-assing shit is in our blood. What do? We're like, I don't want to fucking kill them. Just stay on that reservation and we'll leave you alone. Yeah, here's some, it's like why they make fry bread. It's because they had very poor resources at the beginning when they were put on reservations. The government just gave them food and said, here, survive. And it was like oil and flour, so they make fry bread. But no, we did not do right by that. We should have, yeah. Yeah. So, just cause is based. I mean, it's the truth, man. Mental note, never tell Shauna my Indian heritage. You can have Indian heritage. Jesus, J-Rock. I'm just saying, we did the Indians dirty by, doing what we did, and it would have been better, for those people. I mean, they were basically shoved onto reservations and, okay, figure out how to restart civilization here. It's kind of fucked up. So, a relevant lesson for 2024. Well, it's always a relevant lesson. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. The man in the Obama mask. Yes. Hold on. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. The man in the Obama mask. Oh. So. You might want to private the stream after this. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. So. Oh. Other than that, guys, yeah, we're all done. So it'll be interesting to see how Russell hangs out from here. Wow, we lost people. People apparently don't like me talking bad about the Indians. But oh well. I'm gonna need you to issue a formal, issue a formal apology on your channel as a short or a video to Nick Rekieta. Sean, legal consequences await if you do not put an apology video up to Nick Rekieta. Thank you. Oh. Scud says, Sean being in locals gear all stream has been tight. Okay. What are you guys in here? All right, guys. So that's it for now. We're all caught up. We're caught up for now. Oh my God, it's only gonna get better from here. I will say in other fronts, Epic LLC did bend the knee and issued a full retraction to Null on the farms, and that Null has never produced any cheese pizza on the website, and they issued a full retraction, and I it's nice that they did this, but it's good that Null didn't sign an NDA so we could talk about it. I'd love to talk to him about it. So like I said, Null, I hope you're feeling better. Get some fluids in you. Not like that. Not the Nick way. Don't take the fluids that way. Drink them. But even then, not like how he might. Like normal people would. So they retracted statement in regards to the Kiwi Farms at kiwifarms.net having child sexual abuse material on its website. While Epic may not agree with the content that may be on its website, Epic has no direct knowledge of child sex abuse material on the Kiwi Farms website. Yes, they have no direct knowledge or proof. Alex Caraballo, whenever you come back, you're up next. Oh, and I hope Null fucking takes it to that troon. Oh my God, it'll be hilarious. Even though he's going to be stuck on Blue Sky for trying to fuck around with our boy Stone Toss, the goodest of boys, it'll be great because I really hope Null goes after him. And that'll be a great kind of like training run for Elliot Fong Jones. He said Elliot. Pretty sure his name's Elliot anyway, but he kind of looks like an alien. Like E.T. Elliot. But go after S-Queer. Go after the second wisest legal Latina. So that will be I think Alex got his account back on Twitter. Oh, we'll have to take a look. But yes, Epic bent the knee, chat. Yes, George is on vacation. I know he is. I hope he's feeling better. I did not watch if he did Maddie today. I know he said earlier this week he was sick, but yes, I think Null should use this time to collect some scalps. Oh, he didn't do it Maddie today? Okay. So yeah, he's on vacation. All right, well, Null, enjoy your vacation to parts unknown. We'll be here when you're back. No Maddie for 2 weeks, yeah. Indefinite hiatus. But enjoy your time off, or if you're not enjoying it, I hope you're wreaking satisfaction from whatever it is you have to deal with. Is Epic trying to backtrack now? No, basically confronted them and said, I'll fucking sue you into poverty, because he would, and he would win on a defamation suit if they didn't retract. And they issued a retraction, per his demands. And yes, you know what, guys? That's the best kind of victory. The victory you win without having to fire a shot. He came in and said, fucking apologize. And they did apologize. They retracted. We have no knowledge of this. They did what he wanted. Saved time and money. So, yeah. But we'll see if S-Queer is back at some point. Anyway, I'll have to check on one of my burner accounts because he has banned me because he doesn't like being confronted. You know, that's you can't say my name. Don't say my name. Don't say my name. Alejandro. Hey, those trannies like Lady Gaga, so he'd appreciate that joke. I'm sure he's like, dear Ohio bar, he's making fun of me. So that is it, guys. Later tonight at 11, I'm going to have Jeff on from Legal Vices. We're going to be talking and hanging out, having a fun time tonight. And then I don't know how long Jeff's going to stick around, but, can we meet the goal, chat? We might have a goal tonight. Praise the goal. But that's it, guys. We'll be on in an hour. That will be at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So 11 Eastern, 10 Central. And if you live out west, I don't know and don't care what time that would be. Like what? 8 o'clock Pacific maybe and like 9 o'clock Mountain? No, nobody really. Mountain Time's not real. That doesn't count. So it's just Eastern Time. What time what time does God use? Eastern Time. He's going to look at his watch. It's like, yeah, it's Eastern. That's what his watch is set to. So 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central. We're going to be going live and hanging out, having fun. It will be a fun time. I appreciate you guys being there. It'll be great. 9 Mountain Time, it's very real. Dan and Gaines for $2 said Greer pulled a Ty Beard. Lol. I don't know. Did he? I don't know if Greer tried to phone in one of these motions, but yeah, no mention of a telephone yet. So, not exactly, but kind of. Even worse than Ty. This is worse than what Ty did. This is worse. This is 100 times worse than what happened with Ty. So, Lesko says, I'm a gummy and 5 beers deep. If I wasn't streaming tonight, I probably would have had a gummy. But I already set this up with Jeff a while back, and I've wanted to do this with Jeff for a while. There's a couple other people we're going to be having on. Not just law tubers, but other people. Other people, chat. There's other people out there, trust me. It's going to be great. And then, yeah, I mean, but yeah, tonight a gummy sounds good, but I'm just going to be drinking if we drink at all. And Mega Monster says, in your honest opinion, why do you think Ty Beard messed up? I mean, he just met time deadlines. I mean, really, it's just like that seemed like that was the issue. Just not meeting the deadlines. I mean, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you fuck up like that. It does happen. Do you think he was out of his depth? I don't think so. I mean, like, that part is an issue about the timelines, but also we watched the thing where, like, the depth, like, where Vic's getting questioned and Ty just sits there, like, yeah, those parts weren't good, but I mean, that's a separate matter. Ultimately, the issue of, like, the telephone notary thing, like, yeah, I mean, that was a mess up and we all mess up, so that's why I'm not going to sit here and shit on him, like, for that. It happens. You can make fun of it and, like, joke about it, but that shit, attorneys fuck up. I mean, we're not immune. Unlike a doctor, fuck up, somebody dies, okay. Attorney fuck up, case gets bad. When you're flying an airplane, you fuck up, everybody augers in the ground at 500 miles an hour. Thankfully here, this isn't that level of mistake. As far as, like, do I think that was a little bit of, like, the gods, looking down upon the hubris that was being presented? I mean, yeah, if read your Greek plays, kids. Oh, this fucker for a while. I mean, he gets a little fucking worn out. Read your Greek plays. Fucking hubris is a motherfucker. Hubris is a motherfucker. be a little humble in life. And in case you're wondering, no, I am far from the best at any of this stuff. I'm a bit of a bumbling retard myself. By a bit, I mean quite a bit. So yeah, just hubris is dangerous. That's what I'll say. Can I dress as PPP for the next stream? That means taking my shirt off. That dressing as PPP means dressing down. Oh. Are Mama JF and JF going to be on? Oh, I think that'd be kind of fun to have JF on because I remember him back in the day and I was like, that's one. I'm like, hard not to agree. Guy says a lot of things that get you nodding your head. So, forgot to wear pants to court one day. Yeah, well. Oh, gone to court though and forgotten a tie. And like the tie's sitting in the car, or I've driven to a court, it's like 30 minutes away, and I'm like, I don't have a tie in the car. Although I've had like other times where I've had a tie in the car and it doesn't match what I've got, so it looks really retarded, but I still had a tie. But I've also been without a tie before, and that's really awkward. And you just keep going, and the one time the judge is like, Mr. Martin, where you don't have a tie. And I said, Your Honor, yes, I know. It's sitting on my It's sitting on my dresser. I said, I noticed that when I got out of the car here. Although normally I don't wear a tie in the car because if I'm, drinking coffee, eating, or whatever, I tend to have a habit of spilling on the tie and fucking ruining them. So I don't do that. And also, if you happen to spill something right here, guess what? The tie goes whoop, covers it up. I'm an Aristophanes man. Well, yeah, Aristophanes isn't bad. Euripides is good. Did you see the Russian news? Do you think it was ISIS? I mean, yeah, ISIS-K has problems with fucking Russia. The FSB busted up they busted up a cell, allegedly, at least according to the FSB, that was gonna go fucking shoot up a big synagogue outside Moscow. Or in the Moscow area. I mean, that guy following behind picking up magazines is a little fucking weird. But do I think that was like some group of holes disguised as like ISIS guys? No. Do I think that was a Russian FSB like, they sent like some of the Vimple or Alpha guys out there to do a fucking, remember, no Russian. I don't think it was that. I understand people believe the whole Russia blew up those apartment buildings to justify going into Grozny in, 1999, but I don't think this is it. I think ISIS-K hit. I mean, ISIS-K has been fucking busy. They've been fucking busy. It's just we don't hear about it because they're not blowing up white people. But they've been busy in Pakistan and Iran. And Afghanistan. I mean, it wasn't just hitting the Marines at the Kabul airport and that's their high water mark. No. They've been busy. So, I mean, it could be them. I kind of want to follow the future conflicts rule of 48 hours. I mean, ISIS-K has claimed it, but still, let's give it 48 hours because ISIS fucking claims all kinds of shit all the time. Like, you can shit your pants and ISIS will be like, yeah, that's our fault. We did it. Yes, P6 says, I did not kill my wife, you see. She went on a walk like a dog. I can't do his opinion. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Alpha says, can I burn one, Your Honor? There's got to be a turn. I haven't heard that, but there has to be times where that's happened. Your Honor, I need a smoke break. All glory to Kazakhstan, yeah. Kerry says, should the British have taken out all the Irish? I mean, what they did to the Irish was really fucking bad. They subjugated them, treated them like slaves, yeah. It was really bad. It's a little easier to assimilate to get, they didn't put them on reservations, though. A little different, but yeah, sure. But as you go through history, the Picts and the Scots and the Irish, they all saw themselves as, brothers. It's like in Braveheart. They're like, no more brother wars. So, it's a little different there, but yeah. And I mean, yes, the English didn't see him as white, but, yeah, I think it's a little different than the Indians, but yeah, we treat the Indians like shit. I saw the video. They walked through shooting people, but not everybody. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I'm also surprised there were no bombs. Like, they weren't strapped up for to go kaboom. Like, that's fucking weird for an ISIS style group. That guys weren't clacking off their vests at the end. Assad funds them so well, so of course they have. Yeah. Bad Weather Biker says, you remind me of my dear departed dad who never saw a silk tie to camel hair suit coat he could pass up. He was a high school teacher. For him, dressing down was one of those sweaters with the little alligator on them. Oh, no, I'll wear shorts and a t-shirt everywhere. If I could wear shorts and a t-shirt to court, I'd fucking do it. I mean, like, if it's on the weekend or if I don't have to go anywhere, like, I'll meet you at the jail. Like, I'll probably wear this, like a polo shirt. I'll wear shorts, especially in the summertime. And like there are times where I can be informal too, but yeah, that's like trust me. It's if you have this idea I'm very like prim and proper everywhere, I am farthest fucking thing from it. Trust me. I walked bare feet down to the mailbox. Like it's no, I am not. I appreciate that, biker, and thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. For $25, thank you so much. But yeah, I just don't. I appreciate that, but yeah, no, that's not me. And Carrie, I did want to say thank you for the super chat. Very much. Didn't want to forget about that. There's literally an Irish country that's a reservation. Yeah, well, yeah, they turned the whole thing into a reservation, so. There are two genocides now, Sean, the Indians and the Irish. I mean, well, yeah, they went through a whole fucking potato famine and the British exacerbated it. Yeah, it wasn't fucking like, wasn't just like, oh, some people had some tummy rumblings. Yes, and now the Irish are fighting the new British. Yes. Yes, Allahu Akbar. So, isn't Australia the Irish reservation? Funny. Oh. Stacy says big people get hot. And yes, they do. So I'm not a legal eagle. No, I will never be a legal eagle. Bad Weather Biker for $10, thank you, was saying, I'm a Pomeranian here. And Pomerania is a region, guys. It's not just a dog. I don't know whether I'm Prussian, German, Austro-Hungarian, or Polish because we don't know who is in charge, where the border was when they emigrated. And that's one of the areas, East Prussia. Kind of changed hands a lot. Your thinking is fucked up. You have no idea, Carrie. You have no idea. It's part of the reason why, like, I think I have the feds sent a handler. The lovely 2.0 is my handler. So I don't get in charge. Because if I were to ever assume the levers of power, holy fucking shit, it would not be good. It'd be like Pol Pot and Pinochet butt fucking each other and a baby popping out in the middle of it. Just a nasty, inbred coon baby pulling the levers of power then. It'd be bad. So. I got some Galatian blood. Or are you saying Galatians? So there were the Galatians, but there were also the Galatians. You mean like the Poles? So I think that's where Hassan was born. Hassan was born in somewhere in Turkey. Or his family's from there. I don't know where the fuck Hassan's from. I don't care. So, all right, guys, that's it. We're all caught up. I'm going to stop this now. I appreciate all the super chats, guys. But I'm going to take a little break, get ready for tonight. 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. We got Jeff on. Be there or be square. It's going to be a fun time. Paul Pot, you going to be a man and do the whole glasses thing? Well, I might not. I mean, I'm not going to do everything Pol Pot did, but I mean, you know, there's going to be some helicopters. There's going to be a lot of everything. So, see you at 10 Central. Thanks, Sulla. It's all right, guys. So I'm going to redirect you to myself, and I'll see you guys over there in a little while. So take care, everybody. And Greer, you know, start fucking working, Hoss. I would get ready for all that other shit that got filed, because they're still going to file it. Get ready for it. But good night, chat. Take care, guys. I'll see you in a little while. Bye.